Alright, here we are. Game 2 between Loyalty and Team Kinguin. Take a look at the draft so far, as Kinguin took game 1 with some real ease, in my opinion. And for that reason, Loyalty have banned out that lone druid that Exotic Deer just destroyed them with. It was just so much space made for him by the Shadow Fiend and by Bane, as well as the Rubik, that there was just really no answer that Loyalty could come up with, and they were forced into this position to just basically sit back and watch as their base was completely destroyed, and Kinguin took game 1. So, take a look over at the draft so far. Bane Tusk for Team Loyalty, Team Kinguin, Tiny as well as Ancient Apparition. I do kind of like the combination from Kinguin, and maybe we see Exotic Deer come through with the CK up next. Or not next, but in this draft. I do like the CK with the Ancient Apparition. It is a pretty typical combo to come through. Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt, Ice Blast, shred them, and then that's basically, you gotta kill every single time. But for right now, they go with the Tiny first pick, and now they have the Ancient Apparition. So we'll see how this works out for Kinguin. The Tusk Bane, it's a good support duo for them, as you know, you've got the Ice Shards to play with, the Snowball save, Bane with the lockdown of the Fiend's Grip, the Nightmare, so much to work with there in terms of just getting into Initiate, as well as the fact that they can really just be a nuisance in lane with the Enfeeble from Bane, as we saw from Kinguin, from Hubert in the first game. So we'll have to see what Loyalty want to do to really line up with these two supports, and they're going with a similar draft to what Kinguin brought to the table last game, where they pick up the Doom in the offlane. And I do like Doom overall, but
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see if Kinguin, who executed it perfectly, are able to really just counter that.
Radiant team pick.
And they pick the Rubik again. So, not an immediate counter to Doom, not like Rubik's going to be able to, like, kill off the Doom and take care of him, but this makes you a little bit weary about throwing the Doom, because if Rubik's level 6 and he's in the vicinity, you get that Doom stolen, thrown right back on you, and all of a sudden you're in a little bit of trouble, because as of right now, I'd say the only Doom target would probably be either the Doom or the Bane, but more towards the Bane if the Doom's already used. Because if you're going in with Doom, you've probably used Scorched Earth as well. But giving up the Doom to Rubik, it's just not opportunistic for you, and can put you in a lot of trouble. So Telekinesis is your lockdown, as well as Avalanche Toss at the moment. And Viper picked up for Team Loyalty over mid. I do like Viper. He is aggressive early, something I think Loyalty needs to try and use aggression early, as they sat back a lot in the first game, and Kinguin were the aggressors in the first game very early. And that's what really won them the game. And they go to the Phantom Lancer, which I think is a great counter to this Viper, because dealing with all those illusions, the attack speed's not too great from Viper, and then having to deal with probably the Diffusal Blade that comes out from Phantom Lancer, first or second item, it's going to put Viper in a lot of trouble, and could put Doom in a lot of trouble, because dealing with those illusions is not that easy. And again, with that Diffusal Blade, if you have no mana to use as Doom, you're practically worthless.
Dire team bad.
So Brewmaster gets banned out as maybe they're thinking Kinguin are going mid with that Tiny, and it definitely could be, but I don't know if it's good against this Viper. You might as well throw it offlane. I just don't... the Avalanche toss is fine, but you start to take too much of Viper's shots coming at you, and all of a sudden you're in a lot of trouble running away. And with Bane and Tusk, you're just not having a good time. Enchantress in a Viper? Okay.
Huh. 10 seconds remaining.
So, Tiny mid. I don't know if I like that matchup for Kinguin. And Enchantress into Viper. That Nether Toxin is going to be very important, especially if you get shards that lock in Enchantress and then Nether Toxin is thrown on top of that. Good luck. Because you're not getting out if you're Enchantress.
Choose your hero.
And then now Troll. Picked up by Team Loyalty. We'll have to see how the Troll works against this Enchantress. Exotic. Okay, so this is a safe lane Enchantress, off lane Tiny, mid Phantom Lancer, which I do like the Phantom Lancer mid instead of Tiny for sure. But this is going to be really a tough game for Exotic Deer, in my opinion, especially if the Nether Toxin comes out on top of her. Or on top of him. I would say overall I like Loyalty's lineup a little bit better than Kinguin. I don't know how this Enchantress is going to perform, to be honest. It just seems as though Enchantress is heavily countered, one by the Viper, and the Troll is going to be fine against Exotic Deer as well. So I guess we'll have to see.
Prepare for battle.
We'll see how these lanes come out for both sides, if they are going to stick to where their positioning says they should be. So, Faye going into the safe lane, Peytos right now on to the off lane, but 3 heroes are going to be backing him up, so they'll have Avalanche to start with, as well as the Chilling Touch, Telekinesis. Could see First Blood come out for Kinguin if they're not too careful on Loyalty's end. But coming out into the lane, Faye right by this Tier 1 tower, not going towards the Bounty Rune just yet. And maybe Kasor shows himself to try and turn this around on to Loyalty. Coming through will be the Tusk. Got Nikwa here in the off lane. Exotic Deer in the safe lane. Should do decently well against the Doom. Let's see. Peytos moves forward. Faye immediately back. Doesn't want to risk it. So 2 bounty runes here for Kinguin. 3 bounty runes for Kinguin as Exotic Deer takes the one over top. And that was Infernal Blade taken level 1 instead of the Scorched Earth for Nikwa. So we'll see how his lane really goes. Because Exotic Deer with Untouchable, you're not going to be able to really run down Exotic Deer that well. So we'll see exactly how Nikwa is going to work here. It may be a tough lane. K-Sword TPs away. Shards are thrown by Luft. Arise in the middle lane. So, for right now, Hubert is over mid, and they're going to use Chilling Touch. Interesting to use it there. Not really finding much of anything, but Misha finds Peytos, and Misha has the Brain Sap level 1, and getting Peytos quite low. Peytos might just be first blood if he's not too careful. One more shot. Brain Sap possibilities coming in, and whew, doesn't get the kill. Brain Sap is 75 damage, got him down to about 90, and first blood comes over mid on the Luft from K-Sword coming in.
I came here to be tested.
So 3 heroes over mid, and that was without Chilling Touch to get the kill on the Luft. So Peytos back at about full health. They've still got 2 heroes here, and now Cold Feet placed on the Luft. He's trying to run away. Body block for a moment by Arise. And with that, Rubik, with the initiation starting a little bit early, K-Sword will head down, maybe back in. He's thinking about continuing to move over and pressure mid, and Peytos taken out over bottom. Heads back over mid. Cold Feet comes through, and he does freeze over. This could be a problem for Luft. A couple more shots will get the kill, but Arise hitting away at Nisha, and now Nisha with the Doppelganger gets to the high ground. He'll find a way out. He salves up. Okay, so we're still level 1, looking to head over bottom. Peytos just taking harassment from Faye at the moment. Take a look at this lane over top as Exotic Deer, already level 3, 2 in the Untouchable, 1 in the Nature's Attendants. Exotic Deer farming quite well, and that's with Iniqua going to the 1-1-1 build, so nothing different, just started with Infernal Blade. Rise does have a double damage. Creeps coming in. Coming around the back might be this Rubik, as they are on the high ground for a loyalty. With these 2 heroes, Arise as well as Luft. Wait for this double damage to really finish off, otherwise it would just be an easy kill onto the Rubik, to be quite honest. So they're coming through over mid again. K-Sword will be here. There's the Ice Shards coming out. Chilling Touch. Telekinesis lifts him up, but not over the Ice Shard, so Telekinesis and Chilling Touch both practically wasted. Telekinesis with a much lower cooldown than the Chilling Touch. That is level 2, but it's not finding the kill that they ultimately wanted. And now they'll throw the Ice Shards again. Doppelganger up in 2 seconds. A lot of harassment. Look at that heavy damage on a K-Sword with a Snowball following it up. That's going to be a kill for loyalty. K-Sword going way too far in and finds himself as a kill for the side of loyalty. And that is just bad positioning and over-aggression. Exotic Deer coming over. Iniqua as well. Level 5 for Exotic Deer. 3 in the Untouchable, 2 in the Nature's Attendants. Not taking the enchant at all. So just trying to survive and trying to have that heal. Once Enchantress does hit that 6, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of rotations coming out. Maybe towards the lane, or maybe Enchantress coming out to a different lane altogether. But Nico's got to be very careful. Only 1 in the Scorched Earth. Again, impetus damage will be heavy. We'll see if they even are able to get that kill. The deny comes out from Exotic Deer, and just these regular shots are a lot of damage taken by the Doom, where you're forced to move back, and the lane is opened up again for Exotic Deer, just continuing to farm up 25 and 9. But all the while, over bottom, Faye's doing a pretty good job. Might have himself a kill here on a Peytos, but tossed back. And the Avalanche comes out on the Bane, but still, Peytos trying to walk away, and it's tough against Misha, who does have that level 2 Brain Sap. 2 more shots would have gotten the kill, but able to get behind that tower and survive. Misha again coming over. are getting caught on over mid. There's the chilling touch. Brain Sap on a Hubert. He's quite low. He'll be taken out. He's going to be the first one to die. Snowball comes through on Nisha with the telekinesis. They should have the damage as well as the avalanche coming in. They'll get the 1-for-1 return. Misha under the tower. He's going to get run down by this entire side of Kinguin. 4 heroes split that kill. And Kinguin are very okay with that trade. So Ice Shards come out one more time. Radiant scan. Not gonna find anything as it's still just the Tusk as well as the Viper. Let's take a look over at Enchantress, now level 6 going into that level 7 with the Impetus ready to go. Orb of Venom on Enchantress as well. We'll see if Exotic Deer wants to start making a move or if Kasor comes over to try and help get a kill. But for right now, it's only 3 on the Devour. So Nikwa is very susceptible at the moment, especially with the possibility of getting run down with the Scorched Earth just not doing enough. The Nightmare will save this Ancient Apparition. There's the Avalanche coming in with the Snowball deep under this tower now. Hubert not dead just yet, will end up getting killed off by Pato, so staying alive is Hubert somehow. The Nightmare, it looked like it saved Hubert's life. Doom over top, Impetus, more than enough damage, especially with only level 1 in Scorched Earth. And they'll get another kill, and now we're starting to feel that damage from Exotic Deer. And Patos with the rotations, doing quite a bit for his team as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So Nikwa comes back through over behind this tier 1 tower. But again, Exotic Deer just continuing to farm up, be strong, and not really put himself in much trouble. The Ice Shards block Kasor in, but there's the telekinesis, throwing him to the high ground. Snowball follows it up, throwing in the Doom. They should have the kill. The TP is ambitious with an Infernal Blade available for Nikwa. And that's an easy one for Team Loyalty. Also get the kill over bottom on Patos. So they even it up at 5. Good chunk of gold going their way. And the Snowball comes out over mid by Nisha. He's able to avoid it with the Doppelganger, making Luft pay for it just a little bit, going into the shreds after the Aquila. No Diffusal Blade in the near future just yet. But you take a look at how much damage Exotic Deer has again, throwing with this Impetus. Nikwa finally level 2 in the Scorched Earth, but Exotic Deer continuing to farm up and continuing to output quite a bit with that Impetus damage at level 8. Nightmare on Patos. They'll send Faye over level 9. So out-leveling the Enchantress. Body blocks come out, and Patos in a lot of trouble. Faye hitting away. The slow there from Hubert will save the Tiny. And it's still even at 5, but a 2,000 net worth lead for Loyalty at the moment. Kinguin, their objective at the moment is to just farm up as much as they can. They're not sending Exotic Deer anywhere just yet. They're using the Wild Wing to help out in this lane. Coming around the back will be Luft. I don't know if they'll be able to get the kill if they do go in, and now with drums picked up on Exotic Deer, I think that is a rough one to try and go in on because they have the speed to get away. They also have the damage to reinitiate if they do choose to do so. So you got to be very careful on the side of Loyalty if you do choose to go in on Kinguin. So continuing to just farm up for right now is Kinguin, and over mid Viper Strike on Hubert, getting very low, in a lot of trouble as the Ice Shards come through. He's not dead just yet, the Snowball, but look at this damage from Exotic Deer. The Impetus just doing so much. Arise almost dead. Forced to go all the way back while over bottom. Patos looking like he's going to drop. Kasor dies over top, and bottom Patos dies. And 2 kills for Loyalty again. They move Exotic Deer over mid for just a moment. They lose the Rubik top, and then it just becomes a huge problem for them. As now with the enchant, they'll try and come over on Niqua. They have the stun available, blocking his path, or at least trying to, and they have. But he eats the tree, and he's able to walk away for now. But thrown behind enemy lines, the stun's going to miss. Niqua taking a little bit of damage from this impetus, trying to TP away, and there's the stun again, and the kill for Kinguin. So 7-6, but this is a lead extending for Loyalty, and they're looking pretty good at the moment. Nisha goes into the jungle. He's just got treads. His farm seems to be lacking heavily. And you compare Enchantress to the Troll Warlord, who's almost at 6,000 net worth, going for the Battle Fury. The farm's going to boost up for Loyalty, and I think that Kinguin are in a little bit of trouble once Faye does grab that Battle Fury, and he's able to farm up at that much of a faster pace. You take the tier 1 tower over top. Ichart's trying to block in Kinguin, but with Nature's Attendant to level 3, by the time they even catch up, they'll be back full health for the side of Kinguin. Almost up to this Battle Fury. It is Faye as the Invisor, and if they do want to go in on Peytos bottom, no Fiend's Grip just yet, but Bane continuing to farm up, trying to find that level 6. Faye spotting Peytos, and knowing that it's just him over bottom, while Nisha not going for the Diffusal Blade, going straight Yasha. We'll see how this works out for the Phantom Lancer, especially because of how far behind he is. He's ahead of the Viper, but in terms of really being effective, I think he's just very far behind. Niqua, he's got Doom. He's level 9, 3 into the Scorched Earth, 4 in the Devour. Going for the Blink Dagger, which will be Blink Infernal Blade Doom. That could be a problem for Kinguin. They need to really find their next couple of items. They need to farm up without dying, and it's tough for them. Their map is seemingly overwhelmed at the moment. They're not able to stay in these lanes that well. The ability for Loyalty to take out these heroes is quite nice, except I'd say for Exotic Deer, who does have the Nature's Attendants. But Kinguin, they know they need to pressure a little bit, and they'll move over bottom and try and take a tier 1, maybe force a fight from Loyalty that they don't want to take.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Blink Dagger far away for Peytos, who didn't exactly have the best lane, 1-3-1. And he is way behind the Doom, behind the Viper. They'll take the tier 1, and no contesting from Loyalty. Surprisingly enough, Exotic Deer now getting close to this Dragonlance. It's just going to make him that much stronger, and giving up these towers and giving up this farm to Kinguin is not where you want to be for Loyalty. They need to pressure Kinguin, make sure they can shut them down even further, because just the Battle Fury coming out for Troll Warlord is not enough. They're going to need a little bit more to work with that, and that could ultimately serve to be a problem when Kinguin, they do get the Yasha, maybe they get the Fusel Blade onto Phantom Lancer, and then Enchantress, who will have the Hurricane Pike. If Exotic Deer can make distance and use that impetus, they won't be able to kill off Exotic Deer, and the damage will just be heavy from Kinguin.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So there's the Yasha from Nisha. Still behind a lot in terms of up against this Doom, but from the Viper ahead quite a bit. About 1,000 net worth. Smoke is there. They're looking for Exotic Deer. Smoke broken on a rise. Now they come on forward. The Avalanche getting thrown. The Snowball is out with the Doom, and well as the Nether Toxin. Look at how quickly they shred Exotic Deer. They look for more on K-Story. You take a look at Peytos. It's going to be 3 kills for Loyalty, and none going the way of Kinguin. They are just heavily outmatched on a matchup like that, especially when the Doom comes through onto the Enchantress with the Nether Toxin. You just don't have an answer as Exotic Deer. Your untouchable doesn't matter. So Yasha for Phantom Lancer needs that Diffusal Blade desperately. Hubert is level 7. He'll have the Ice Blast available to him, but the pressure is put on from Loyalty. 10-6 in their favor. 4,000 net worth lead. Peytos without the Blink Dagger will be without it for a couple more minutes. And top of the net worth by far is Faye. With this Battle Fury going for the SNY next, his farm is going to just skyrocket ahead. And Kinguin not looking good at all to face up against that bulky buff farmed up troll. Peytos needs to heavily farm, and that's what he's doing with the Avalanche Toss combo on these creep waves, but has to be very careful. Ooh, Ice Blast comes out, I think, mid. Rise takes the mid-tier 1 anyway, and with the rest of the team behind him, Kinguin can't go in, and if they do go in, they'll be in a bad way. Enchantress going for the Force Staff again, trying to finish off that Hurricane Pike. Diffusal Blade trying to get finished for Nisha, who did pick up one of the Blades of Alacrity. So the farm is getting up there for Nisha, farming up at quite a good pace to get this Diffusal Blade. They've got the Blink Dagger on Kasor before the Tiny. So I like where Kinguin's going in terms of initiation and in terms of positioning, but they are far behind because of how quickly Faye is able to farm. Going for the Shadow Blade next, finishes off the SNY so fast. Faye's your ultimate issue for Kinguin. So, Arise and Misha just continue to farm up. Let's see what Arise has. He's got the Dragonlance going for BKB next. Exotic Deer, Force Staff soon. No smoke available, but Peytos now with the Blink Dagger. And then going into the Echo Saber. Should be a smoke coming out here. Yep. So that's where they're going to try and work with to be aggressive, because if they can find the Blink, Avalanche Toss, Ice Blast, they should be able to take out just about anybody, and that's it. There's the Blink, Avalanche Toss, Ice Blast with the impetus damage. Oh, freezing over. There it is. There's the kill for Exotic Deer. They look over at Faye. Nisha's in really deep. The Snowball comes through. That's going to be onto an illusion. Brings 3 heroes to the top side of this river. The damage is a lot, but there's the Brain Sap coming through onto Kasor with the Doom here on Enchantress. Now can't throw out at that impetus and is getting quite low, but Faye trying to stay alive, fighting Nisha, as well as the Tiny gets the kill on a Peytos, but gets taken out. Exotic Deer, the next one to fall. So will Nisha, as the rest of the side of Loyalty is here, and they're looking for the full team wipe. They've found Hubert, they've got the Infernal Blade, and this is an ancient apparition that is most likely dead, and there it is. Brain Sap, Ice Shards, team wipe for Loyalty. So 5 for 2, and not a huge net worth bump overall, I'd say, for Loyalty, especially according to the gold change. 5 heroes did die. They did take out Faye. That slows down his farm. That's very important for Kinguin. But again, once the Doom comes out on Exotic Deer, there's just, the damage is gone. Needs that Hurricane Pike and needs a BKB. So smoke again. Kinguin look for the combination one more time, and that's the Blink, Avalanche, Toss, Ice Blast, Fade Bolt. They've also got Ice Shards to work with. It'll work on just about anybody, I'd say, except for Faye. And unfortunately, over top is Faye. If they can get the kill on Faye, that would be very important. There's the Blink, Avalanche, Toss, Ice Blast comes in. And I'm wrong. Okay, I'll eat my words. I'll happily eat my words. That combination does work. Took a lot more damage than I thought you would. And now the Nightmare comes out. Snowball over mid, not on anything but creeps. And they take away Faye for 60 seconds again. That's going to slow down his farm, bring enough time for Kinguin to maybe boost up in terms of net worth. They have the Diffusal Blade finished here for the Phantom Lance. They're going in the Manta style next. Tiny Echo Saber is going to be coming through. That'll make that combination even stronger with the Blink, Avalanche Toss, strikes, as well as the Ice Blast. and that's what you're looking for on Kinguin, to have that burst damage potential, make sure they cannot stay alive on Loyalty, and pressure them heavily. And they find Luft. They've got the telekinesis, blink, avalanche, toss, Paytos, damage enough to get that kill. And now 2 dead here on Loyalty, and all of a sudden, from 8,000 net worth to 4,000 net worth lead for Loyalty, and Kinguin look really good at the moment.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is just a deadly combo, and without BKBs, there's no way to survive it. So the fake back, Kinguin, they smoke, they look over top, they're gonna go for Faye again. Oh my. If they could kill Faye one more time, Faye to the low ground. Moving forward with the smoke, need to make sure they're not spotted, but on the low ground now, avalanche toss, that comes through on the Doom, they'll get themselves one, they look over at Nisha with the Ice Blast coming out, they'll get themselves a second. Taken out is Hubert, now they turn it around onto Arise, who's slowed up, the Nether Toxin gonna be thrown down, and now, let's see what they can get. Arise very low, the toss comes in, double kill for Paytos, 3 for 1 in favor of Kinguin, and this game thrown back to about even. So Kinguin do a very good job there to take out the Doom immediately. Without that Doom, there's just no stopping Kinguin. The Hurricane Pike will be finished for Enchantress. And there it is. Over mid Paytos. Nightmare. The rest of the team coming in and aren't able to kill off Paytos, who does have that Echo Saber finished off. So again, that's going to make that combination even stronger. Is this Invis? This is Invis. Faye in so much trouble. Blink, Avalanche, Cold Feet, Ice Blast, everything again thrown at Faye. That is 3 consecutive times that he has fallen that way. And with that combination, there is absolutely no answer from Loyalty. Kinguin have brought it back from an 8,000 net worth lead deficit to almost having it even and almost a lead in their favor. Lincoln Sphere for Enchantress to stop the Doom. Tiny going for the 4-step to get out of the harm's way from Viper. Manta Style from Phantom Lancer. Kinguin are very much, I would say, despite being down in terms of net worth, are very much ahead at the moment. And no Lincolns for Enchantress, going for the Axe as they push bottom. Interesting choice. They also push mid with Nisha. So they're split pushing, forcing Loyalty to think about where to make a play. Glyph comes out, which means if they kill Faye again, they can just go for tier 3. So that actually puts Loyalty in a really bad way, because they're going to lose the bottom tier 2, they're going to lose the mid tier 2. Tier 3s are open, and they're looking ready and ripe to go. Double damage spotted, but whoa. Paytos coming in, needs that blink, toss, double damage, avalanche, dead. And that's an unfortunate series of events for Luft, thinking he's okay to grab that double damage with the ward there, but knew he was up against a rough time. Oh, face spotted again! This is a huge problem! They just killed him, he just came back alive, he's dead once more! He is dead again, 70 seconds. Somehow, after not farming for, I'd say, the last 4 minutes, is still top of the net worth, but that easily puts Kinguin in for the Aegis and a high ground push coming in through it next. Wow. Kinguin. Aegis here on Nisha, who has made up that deficit, who is back close to this Troll Warlord, had so much trouble early to find farm, but since getting the Yasha, farming in the jungle has been absolutely fine. 1-1 and 10. The Tiny here, 5-5 and 6 after a struggling 1-3-1 lane. Enchantress, 5-2 and 5. There is just so much going right at the moment for Kinguin, as Ags will be the next item of choice for Exotic Deer. And then we take a look. Is it Scotty for Phantom Lancer? and Shadow Blade after the Force Staff for Tiny. Let's take a look at the net worth lead that they had. It was close to 10,000, now almost a 5,000 in favor of Kinguin. In terms of experience as well, it's there too. And then look at this. This is just a huge drop in percentage win. They had a 25% chance to win the game, down 8,000 net worth. Coming over top of the smoke will be Loyalty. They'll look for the Fiend's Grip on Peytos. Could be a kill for them. But now, here comes Kinguin. They've stolen Fiend's Grip. That's going to be put onto the Bane. Peytos still in a little bit of trouble, but the damage coming out from Exotic Deer. They'll take out Misha so quickly, or so I thought. There's the toss. Peytos will die. On the back lines coming in will be Misha as well as Hubert. They'll grab themselves a second. They look over at Arise. TP's out. And that's a win for Kinguin. You lose Peytos down for 43 seconds, but Kinguin okay with that after they take out the Doom. Switching to the Heart instead for Phantom Lancer. This tier 2 is more than gone, and with the Aegis, I wouldn't be surprised to see a continual push. Faye is trying to farm bottom, but now his tier 3's getting taken out. There's the lift, and with this Spirit Lance, uh-oh, Nisha going in deep. Cold Feet on Arise. The damage from the Enchantress Snowball just barely saving, but that puts them both in harm's way. Down goes Arise, and down goes Luff. 2 dead. Both have buyback. Might even be forced to use it. Exotic Deer bashed on the first hit. Faye doing so much. Takes out Exotic Deer with that BKB. Nisha might even be next. Kinguin might have overstayed their welcome. Hubert gets killed off by Faye. They look for more. There's the stun from Nico to the Scorched Earth. They'll pop the Aegis. Nobody here to help Kinguin. And, oh, Peytos, I may have misspoken. Nikwa forced to use that BKB. You look over at Faye. Peytos, he's got to be careful as the damage is going to be heavy from Faye, especially with the bashes coming through. Peytos comes back alive, immediately killed off. Nikwa trying to find at least a trade, and Nisha will kill Nikwa. Looks over at Misha. The damage? Oh my god, he gets it before he's able to TP out. Now it's a 1v1 against Faye. I don't know if Faye has enough. He's got no more mana to play with. Looks over an illusion. That's not going to be right. Nisha with the Spirit Lance still pushing back Faye, and I think he knows he can't beat the one-on-one fight. But it ends up being a 4-for-4. Kinguin somehow come out not on the back end of that fight. They do lose the Aegis on the Phantom Lancer, but better the Aegis than his life in full. Definitely an interesting exchange overall in that fight. And as Peytos seemingly just the sacrifice to take their attention off the Phantom Lancer for just a moment. But he's got the heart. He's back to full health. The full team up here for Kinguin. He'll TP back to the Shrine, get with the rest of his team. Ag's picked up for Exotic Deer, and now into that Lincoln Sphere. Oh. Sigil, Kazor. This is an exciting one. You still need 2 more shots. So Nisha, oh, they get it. Your 20 gold for Nisha. Push him closer to the butterfly. Has the heart. He's ready to fight. Peytos here with the Echo Saber, Exotic Deer. They smoke up. They're looking for it. They know they're over top with these creeps, I believe. Or they will know in a moment. With a TP back from Arise, they'll send one back, and Arise has to sit very far back in the base, because if he doesn't sit far enough back, the Avalanche Toss, Ice Blast will come through, and Kinguin will get the kill. But 4 heroes over top for Loyalty at the moment. They'll TP back. Gem? Yeah, Gem. Haste for Peytos. Let's see. Isha continuing to farm at the moment. But he's nearby. He's by this shrine. And again, still just trying to farm up the butterfly as Patos with the haze still pick up these bounty runes. Still looking for his Shadow Blade. Ooh, Faye! Quick kill there on K-Sor. Without the Rubik, Kinguin will back off. And Kinguin might just wait for the next Roche. It's up in 2 minutes or more. Ags for Rubik next, and Ags on the Doom would be nice. As well as the Fiend's Grip. Or not the Fiend's Grip, but the Brain Sap. And then also good with the Viper Strike. So a lot to steal here with the Ags, actually. I would say the Brain Sap's probably the best. Okay, moving over towards top. There's the Butterfly finished off for Faye. TP over to the Shrine. K-Sor coming in. Force Staff not to the high ground. Can they find anybody? A little bit short. Force Staff forward. This game's slowing down just a little bit. The aggression from Kinguin did back off once they lost the Rubik, but they might just be looking towards going for the next Roche. Is Hubert going for Ags? He's got 1,300 gold. He could definitely eventually afford one, and it would be nice to see him get it. As took the 20 health regen, just trying to stay alive. Help out his team, but he's immediately shredded by Faye. As well as the Viper, to be quite honest. Smoke? Yep. Smoke here from Loyalty. They're going to come through mid and actually head towards their top lane. Oh, but the scan from Kinguin. They know they're there. Nisha, the Doom, in a lot of trouble. The Snowball needs to get Force Staff. There it is, actually out on the high ground. The Fiend's Grip is there. Force Staffed again. In a great spot now to stay alive. And is he going to stay alive? Yeah, with that Shrine, he should have enough. But they might lose K-Sor again. I would take that any day over losing your Phantom Lancer. So they use the Doom. That'll be on cooldown for a while. Fiend's Grip was also used on that fight. And all of a sudden, you just lose a Rubik instead of your Phantom Lancer, and you look pretty good, especially with Roche coming up in 45 seconds. Shadow Blade finally finished for the Tiny. And then Butterfly soon for Nisha. Hubert, you going for Ags? You haven't decided yet. This could be a Rod of Atos. Nisha TPing bottom to grab this double damage, I believe. Especially if Patos gave it up. Passed on that. He's got the Butterfly. Let's see. This is for sure going to be a posture by the Roche pit, knowing that Roche is up thanks to the enchanted creep from Exotic Deer. And Nisha with the double damage. They might just go in. No wards from Loyalty, and for right now it's just Nisha, but they're nearby, and I think they might look to at least try to stop this. They should send Ice Shards over to spot it. There it is, Nisha, Hubert, Exotic Deer, all here. Don't know if they have enough time. They're going to have to blink in, try and steal this. They come over with the Sigil, setting up. I think Nisha acts like an illusion for a moment. As the Snowball comes in, Luft tries to steal it, but Nisha grabs it, and Luft will be killed immediately. It was worth the attempt. Unfortunately, they don't get it. Aegis picked up, and on the back lines, you take a look. Patos just ripped to shreds, you say, as Faye with BKB just eats him up. Cheese also picked up by Phantom Lancer, so Tusk got nothing out of that. But they do kill off Peytos, which is very important. He's a lot of damage, and he's a lot of setup for the Ice Blast as well as the rest of the fight. Equa eating a lot of damage. The stolen Ice Shards with the Ice Blast coming through. They'll get the kill. Phoenix Group's going to be put onto the Phantom Lancer. Four-stepped onto the high ground a little bit further. Misha trying to make something happen for the rest of his team, but now he's in a lot of trouble. Taken out of this game, and Exotic Deer will get the kill. The tier 3 in a lot of trouble is Kinguin. It's a 4-on-2, but Tusk about to be up. Peytos in 22. Faye still here. Rack's in a lot of trouble. Doesn't look like Kinguin are going to stop. They've also got this Aegis still, Sigil on them, but again, just not doing anything. And the Doppelganger back. Faye, you got to be very careful. The Telekinesis coming out. He's going to get quite low with this Impetus damage coming through. They'll get no Impetus. Yes, no, yes. They'll get the kill on the Faye. I thought he got away for a moment. But they'll lose the mid-set racks. Faye does die, and Anisha does have buyback in 90 seconds, or does have buyback and up in 90 seconds, so immediately use it. Love comes in, there's the Walrus Punch, Viper Strike on a Huber, Ice Blast, it's on a Luck. So now they're in a lot of trouble. The BKB pop by Arise, they'll get the bash, but he's still got this Aegis, still has the cheese, keep himself alive. Snowball, that's gonna pull them back into the base, or actually it almost did. It did pull them back. There's still 4 heroes alive for Kinguin. Just no mana left on Enchantress. Went to the MKB instead. They still have the Aegis on Nisha. Peytos. AC. No BKBs coming out. They just forget them.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Rubik almost done with that. Ags, 2,600 gold saved up for Ancient Apparition. Rubik Ag, soon a reality. We'll see what he's able to take. $10,000 net worth lead, and you see where it was at one point. For loyalty. They were up 8,000. It's an 18,000 net worth difference from where it was. And Kinguin. Smoke up. Looking to be aggressive again, showing Peytos bottom.
Radiant are scanning.
Here we go. Smoke is there. Kinguin looking. Arise far forward onto the low ground. So is Nikwa. There's Blink forward. Just blinks away. Kasor. I think he was looking for the Blink Walrus Punch. And now Nisha will show himself over bottom. So the rest of the team is here. Invis for Faye. Faye trying to make something happen with a Shadow Blade. Broken for the moment is Nisha with the Enfeeble on him. They throw the ward down and backing off for a moment, waiting for their creeps, will be Kinguin. Shadow Blade here from Peytos. Let's see how they're able to initiate. They're looking for Faye. They'll take the tier 3. The snowball comes in. That's going to roll over to the creeps. Broken again is Nisha. But still, nothing doing from either side just yet. And stolen is the Nether Toxin. Start to work on these racks. They've lifted up this Viper, now thrown down with this Tiny coming through. They'll get the kill on Arise. They're looking for more. Fate's going to pop that BKB. They'll take out Peytos. Peytos is going to be down for 77 seconds as buyback. BKB is going to wear off soon. So I don't know how long Faye wants to be in here, especially with Nisha having the Aegis. Gem gets dropped, and with that initiation gone, Kinguin will take what they've gotten and back off. They took the tier 3. They got the kill onto Arise. I'm pretty... Oh. Couldn't click on it, but I'm pretty sure they forced the buyback. And they did force the buyback on Arise. So they're looking really good. 4 staff picked up for the Ancient Apparition. No Ags, the Dream Dead.
Radiant's top shrine.
They might be looking, I thought they might be looking to smoke again, but nobody has it. Top of the net worth is Nisha, 28,000 net worth for him. As we come into the 40-minute mark on this game, or 41-minute mark. It's been a tight one overall, despite the net worth differentials here. Faye with the Shadow Blade looking for something. Peyto's the only one nearby. He's died a couple of times in a row. 7, 9, and 7. Had gotten it back from 1, 3, and 1 to 5 and 5 from that point. He's 2 and 4. So he's been struggling a little bit. Continually taken out by Faye. And smoking up again is loyalty. The push is on from top. Peytos' positioning has to be a little bit better. Going for that AC, I maybe would have preferred a BKB. Also got the Shadow Blade. Go for the Shrine with the illusions. Shadow Blade from Faye, maybe getting a pick off here to start the fight. Looking over at Hubert, but now Nisha, he could be the target. He doesn't have the Aegis anymore. Comes in deep. Faye, you're very deep. There's the Doom. That's going to come through on the Phantom Lancer. I don't know if they have enough damage with the Cold Feet hitting on a Faye. Faye not using that BKB just yet. Finally pops it with the BKB, or the Fiend's Grip coming through onto the Phantom Lancer, trying to get 4 staffed out, but it will finally drop. They'll take out Exotic here. 2 dead on Kinguin. They'll look for more, and that more will be Kasor as he hits the deck as well. 3 dead on Kinguin's end, and that is going to be trouble. Misha gets hit by the Ice Blast. But he's A-okay. That was a level 3 Ice Blast, too. So luckily for Kinguin, they have tier 2 standing, where I don't think they're going to need to be buying back just yet. But that's a huge fight for loyalty to know that they could kill the Phantom Lancer. And without the Aegis, Kinguin don't feel as comfortable. Whenever the Doom is up for loyalty, expect them to be aggressive the way they just were. Ice Blast bottom on Amisha. He'll be dead for sure. Blink, Avalanche, Toss. Dead. Both of them get 262 gold. So here comes the push from loyalty. Still 40 seconds till Phantom Lancer is up. The glyph is available. They'll take the tier 2. They might want to clean up all the tier 2s before they go high ground. But ooh, they're actually looking bottom. They could find Hubert here. That could be big. Chantress up in 3. And getting away is Peytos, so.
Got it.
Let's take a look at this Death Summon for a second. Doom doing so much damage. Infernal Blade. 1,200 damage. That's disgusting.
That should help.
Back to the top of the net worth will be Faye, followed by the Phantom Lancer. Kinguin all up again. They didn't expend their buybacks.
Double damage.
Let's take a look at buybacks, speaking of which. Doom, Enchantress, Bane, Ancient Apparition, Phantom Lancer, a little bit short. Meanwhile, Faye, he'll have his back up in 10. And then, in 3 minutes, Viper will have his. And Aegis She's Refresher Shard picked up by Kinguin. Who's that going on? It's going on the Rubik, surprisingly enough. If he could get 2 Dooms, that would be disgusting. If he could also get the 75% spell amp and have 2 Dooms with the Ags, that is crazy. So Kinguin, they start to posture on the top lane. Pushing for right now is going to be Nisha, the doppelganger, with these illusions continuing to try and do work to blink on forward with the telekinesis. They find themselves lost, but there's the Nightmare Nether Toxin laid down, the tier 3, looking like it's going to be gone. So their bottom set of racks as well as the top set of racks. Ooh, Shadow Bladed here is going to be Faye. He pops that BKB. He looks for Peytos. 4-staffed up, 4-staffed down into the Fiend's Grip. He's killed off. Now you look. Nisha trying to fight Faye. The damage is there with the Spirit Lance. Faye alive thanks to the Nightmare of Misha, but for how much longer? Broken is this Phantom Lancer. Now you take a look over at Kator, who's got himself Fiend's Grip, has the refresher shard if he can just get away, but unfortunately can't. The buyback's there from Faye, and now they look over at Equa. The damage from Nisha, not enough. Faye back into the fight. I don't know if they want to continue to go in just yet. Peytos rejoining, and buybacks from both Exotic Deer and Peytos as well as Faye. If they could kill Faye, that would be a big one. Same could be said for Exotic Deer as well as Peytos. Refresher orb here on the Doom. Dust used, and I don't think that actually hit on the Faye. Faye still invis. As the Silver Edge BKB pop by Nico, that's going to be a Doom on Exotic Deer in a lot of trouble, trying to force staff himself away. Luft is going to be here with the nice Walrus kick on the Exotic Deer. Enchantress kicks him back into the team. There's the Walrus punch. Peytos die. They look over at Nisha. They both fall back. They're dead for over 100 seconds. Luft getting low, and down will go Nisha. Or finally down will go Nisha. Nope. Doppelganger again. Doppelganger again. I thought he went down with the Doppelganger. Finally, the Aegis drops, and I am correct eventually, but look if he died before that. Doppelganger's through. There's the Ice Blast. Looks over at Faye. If they can kill off Faye, that would be nice for them. The Ice Blast is a lot of damage. Looking over at Nico, trying to run away. This Doppelganger is absolutely insane at the moment. They continue on forward. Faye, not a lot of mana to work with. Hubert is here. They try to turn it around. The BKB is going to be popped. They've got Doppelganger. They look over at Misha. Kasor's back into the fight. They might have gone a little bit too far on the side of Loyalty. The chase is on. Misha getting low. He's going to be slowed down by the Diffusal Blade with the Spirit Lance. They'll get the kill. And now they're looking for more with the blinks out. Will be there from the side of Loyalty. Able to get away. But they've popped those BKBs. And this is buying time for Peytos and Exotic Deer to come back up. No push will be out from Loyalty after taking what seemed to be a very good fight for them. Nisha somehow survives it all. With Doppelganger down to 3 seconds. He's practically unkillable. Usually you see that crit strike come through, but Isha desperately needed that Doppelganger, and I think with any other build, with the other talent, he would have been dead for sure. And he somehow survives. That's actually insane. But this game back to 1,000 in terms of net worth. Differential and Kinguin, Faye has just been destroying them. Refresher Shard still here. Ancient Apparition with the gem. Maybe would have liked to see him have the Ags, but with all these heroes buying back at the moment, let's see. Oh wow, so many heroes are buyback. So does Nisha, but Troll doesn't, and Viper doesn't have the gold for it. Enchantress and Tiny don't, so I'd say in terms of buybacks, Kinguin are behind with who has buybacks available. They smoke up. They're looking over mid. If they could start with a pickoff, that'd be nice, especially one of Viper or Troll. Doom would probably be the best target. If they don't get Doom, they're just so strong in these fights, especially Exotic Deer. Once Exotic Deer is doomed up, he's basically just a goner. And they see the ward, but there's the blink. Avalanche comes through, and now they look over at the Viper, but I think he was hit with an Avalanche with a BKB popped. Now they look at the rest of the team. The Doppelganger from Nisha, only on a 3-second cooldown. The damage onto Arise. The Doppelganger again. Arise getting a little bit low with the Ice Blast. That's going to come through and miss, actually. Nobody gets hit by that. Just able to walk away. Peytos invis again. There's the blink. Avalanche thrown forward. Peytos, that might give up his life with the Fiend's Grip. Snowball dead for 90 seconds. They'll take the bottom melee racks. They look over at Faye, who's popped the BKB. The Ghost Scepter is going to keep him alive. They look over at Luft with Nisha coming in. The Fiend's Grip stolen by Kaser. Will lock in this tusk. They'll get the kill. Fade down for 2 minutes. They look over the rest of this Rex. They'll take out the range Rex. Exotic here with a double kill. No fade for over 2 minutes. And flooding the base now will be these creeps from Exotic Deer looking to get mega creeps over top. Luft can only stand there and watch. As they continue on forward, there's the Ice Blast. That's going to hit on Nico as well as his Rise. They'll kill off Luft, 2 dead. Now a 4-on-3. Nico pops the BKB, going to be chased down. He's going to end up falling victim to Nisha again. GG is called, and Kinguin take the series 2-0. Nico saying what I was thinking, basically, on how that talent was very fair, of course. And Kinguin takes the series 2-0, so you take a look, 8-2 and 19 for Nisha, top of the net worth, that doppelganger talent saving him immensely. K-Sor, 28 assists, 21 for Hubert. They look good. There were times where it slipped. If you take a look at the graph, up, down, up, down, up, down. And this game was back and forth. Probably one of the best games I've seen in a while. 36-35, an hour in. Kinguin, they end up taking the series 2-0, and that is it for my time on StarLadder for the moment, as it was just one series today, and Kinguin take it 2-0. So I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92. It's been fun for the quick 2 hours that I was here, and I'll be back again soon, hopefully. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good one.